All right, sixth graders, welcome on back. We are going to look at 11-2, and this is multi-step equations. Multi-step equations. And if you're following along with me, this is also on page 565. So again, you have done one-step and two-step equations, so this again could be multi-step, three-step, four-step equations. So I'm going to do some kind of like example one where you have to combine like terms. I'm going to make up another problem though. I'm going to do 15x minus 8 minus 3x is equal to 16. So again, we want to solve for the variable. So we want to solve for x. So before I do that, I'm going to think of, what terms can I combine here? Well, I can combine my x's. So I have 12x minus 8 is equal to 16. And then we just use SADMAP. Remember, we want to keep the variable there, so we want to get rid of everything besides the variable. So instead of minusing 8, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So on this side, I have a 12x. Go ahead, do that math, double check. You should be left with 24. In my last step, I want to get rid of that 12. So I got to look what's being multiplied right now. I got to do the opposite. I'm going to divide both sides by 12. And so x is equal to 2. So again, if I wanted to double check my answer, I could plug in 2 back up in the x, and I should get both sides to equal 16. Okay, I'm going to try one more like example one where I have to combine like terms and then solve for the variable. So let's try this one. 5y plus 1 plus 3y is equal to negative 15. So again, I always like to draw my stupid line down. So first step, combine like terms. And notice how I include the sign in front of it. That always goes with it. So I'm left with 8y plus 1. On this side, I still have a negative 15. So again, I got to get rid of the plus 1. So how I get rid of it is I subtract 1. Again, I go shopping. You can think about, I want to buy something for $15. I want to buy something for $1. So I got to borrow $16 from mom and dad. And then my last step, okay, instead of multiplying by 8, I'm going to divide that side by 8, that side by 8. Remember, a positive divided by a negative is a negative. So y is equal to negative 2. There. So that is some multi-step ones, a lot like example 1. We're going to try one, or we're going to try two actually, like example 2. So I'm going to go through 4x plus, it's 4x minus 8 all over 9 is equal to 12. Now, on these kind of problems, even though it doesn't have parentheses on the top, you got to think of these like in parentheses. And that's important, only for the top. So we got to get rid of what's underneath, the divided by 9. So that's what I got to get rid of first, because we think of SADMAP. So I get rid of subtraction or addition, multiplication or division I get rid of. So even though those red parentheses aren't there, we have to put them there. So then 12 times 9, I'm left with 108. Okay. Again, I get rid of the thing without the variable first, so I'm going to add 8 to this side, add 8 to this side. I'm left with 116. Last step, divide both sides by 4. So x is equal to, let's see here, 12, 8, 9, 10, 11. For that, oops, oh yeah, 4 goes into 36, there we go. Okay, so x is equal to 29 I got for my final answer. Okay, I'm going to try one more where there is a division bar there. I'm going to do, let's see, 4r minus 2 all over 6 is equal to 5. So again, I'm going to draw my stupid line, and I have to think of this as in parentheses. So again, I want to get rid of this 6 first, so it's being divided by. I got to do the opposite. It's multiplying. So I'm left with 4r minus 2 is equal to 30. Okay, I want to get rid of the minus 2, so I do the opposite. I add 2, I add 2. I'm left with 4r is equal to 32. And my last step, divide both sides by 4. So r is equal to a positive 8. Okay, so in these kind of problems, I have to remember to put the parentheses around it and get rid of the dividing by 9 or the dividing by 6 first. All right, let's look at example 3. So Jamal, he owns twice as many comic books as Levi owns. Adding 6 to the number of comic books Jamal owns and then dividing by 7 gives the number Brooke owns. If Brooke owns 30 comic books, how many books does Levi own? So again, our first step, guys, is always defining the variable. It looks like they use C, and that makes sense for comic books. So we're going to use C for our variable. And we're going to set up an equation. So again, twice as many. That's where we get the 2C. Adding 6, so we know to add 6 there. And then dividing by 7. So again, kind of just going through, following those directions. And then it tells us the total and number of Brooke owns is 30. So the hard part on these ones, guys, is just setting up the equation. So again, reading through it, first defining your variable, then going through twice as many, adding 6, dividing by 7, they gave us the total. So again, since we have parentheses, I'm going to make sure to do that. First step, times both sides by 7. 2C plus 6. Again, I can think of 3 times 7. So we're left with 21 and add our 0. Next step, get rid of the 6. So I got to subtract 6 from both sides. 2C. And we're left with 204. Again, and then the last step, divide both sides by 2. And C is equal to 102. And I'm going to go back and read the questions. How many does Levi own? 102 comic books. So again, as you're working through 11-2, go through, do your learning target. Looks like there's no vocab in this section, so you won't have any vocab, and I should see at least 6 practice problems because there's example 1, example 2, and example 3. So you can go through and choose